Draw that bell curve, and we'll talk about the different segments through the adoption process. The first segment is the innovators. Want to have stuff be righty?
That's okay. Is handled from a U.S. and international standpoint, making sure that we definitely take advantage.
So when we first, as well as the financials and our gross margin target for the
big one, and I've taken the liberty of writing some notes on the board for all of us so that we have a general guideline. Launch date. Of course, we always know that launch dates are May 1st for us, so we need to make sure that our overall schedule matches to that May 1st launch date. Is handled from a U.S. and international standpoint, making sure that we definitely take advantage. We can move forward and get teams assigned and design improvements implemented. So part of the review with finance, long lead press, make sure that our sales meeting that we have set up.
Yeah.
That's launching in May of this coming year. So we want to make sure that we focus on our customers and our gross margin targets for the new product in order to meet the May launch date next year.
Okay, today we're going to talk about the new technology adoption process. How many of you have heard of that before? Okay, so pretty simple chart. Draw that bell curve, and we'll talk about the different segments through the adoption process. The first segment is the innovators. Segments are the late majority and the technology laggards. These are generally the last two segments to adopt a new type of gadget. To talk to the early majority segment. We're going to talk about the late majority. That's going to be on the test as well. That's really the righty.
That's okay. I also want to get detail shots of them using the earphones, the headset.
All right. So would that happen in the classroom like
Yes.
that?
Yeah, they'd be recording with the headset. So
well as our first thing I wanted to make sure is that you guys have all received briefs and schedule matches to that May 1st launch date. As Michael, well as our first thing I wanted to make sure is that schedule matches to that May 1st launch date. Forecasting forms. Tying into that is the So the first thing I wanted to make sure is that you guys have all received the materials that we're going to be touching on. The first thing is our launch date. Of course, we always know that launch dates are May 1st for us. So we need to make sure that our overall schedule matches to that May 1st launch date. Michael, have you...
Draw that bell curve, and we'll talk about the different segments through the adoption process. The first segment is the innovators. We're going to talk about each of the segments in the technology adoption process and how to make the jump from the early adopter segment to the early majority segment.
Main menu.
Try to push down the paper with your hand a little bit more so it's flat with your left hand. Yeah, okay.
Something like tree.